Hi, this is Amy Jo Berman with your acting/auditioning tip of the day. Okay, so what is the topic of today? The topic is absolute audition no-nos. And I want to start with one of the big no-nos that I see a lot of you guys fall into in auditions, and that's how to use props or how not to use props, or whether you should use a prop, whether you should ever bring a prop, and if you do, how do you do it? Okay, so let's talk about props in an audition. So a lot of people will say, never use props, never use props. Well, I think never is a little bit extreme. There are times when it's okay to use a prop. So here are some examples. First of all, you don't want to bring a whole lot of props in that you wouldn't normally be carrying anyway. So ladies, if you have a purse on you, a purse can be used as a prop in many different ways, and it's a really helpful thing. So keep your purse on you, and most all of you have a cell phone on you. Cell phone is okay to use as a prop. We'll talk about that in a second. And your sides and a pen. These are things you would have on you anyway, and they can all be doubled to use as props in a very, very simple way. So should you bring a bucket full of props in? I don't care if your scene says she lays out the picnic table, opens up the basket, and puts the picnic lunch out. I don't want you bringing a picnic basket in. I don't want you putting a spread of food out. That is not okay. And miming it will also be difficult. So don't do that. You want to take what you have on you and use it in a reasonably simple way to sort of suggest what you're doing. You have to have absolute belief in what you're doing so that we believe what you're doing. Because if you are miming some activity and you don't buy it, then we're not going to buy it either. So if you have to really understand what you're doing, that's why you have to keep it super duper simple. So when it comes to a prop, let's talk about phones, because this is a very common one. So let's say you have a situation where you're talking on the phone. So I've seen this, I've seen this, I've seen this, and I've seen speakerphone. Now any of those things can work, any of them, and they all work if you buy it, if you have solid belief in what you're doing. Personally speaking, I would feel silly doing this. I personally would feel silly. Therefore, I wouldn't be able to pull that off in an audition scene. But if you could do that and feel totally at ease and comfortable, it's going to be fine. There's no real wrong way to do it. The only wrong thing you could do when it comes to a telephone is to do this and feel stupid, or to then put it down and pick it up with your other hand, forgetting that you mimed putting it down over here. That's because you don't have absolute belief in what you're doing. And I would really recommend using an actual cell phone turned off. Okay, you want to turn it off, make sure it's turned off, and then use it, because you'll have absolute belief in holding a cell phone. However, you don't want to have to go digging for it or whatever in your scene. See, the trick to using props properly in a scene is to keep it simple. Keep it simple. Okay? So, and the other thing, a really good thing to do is, if you have sides, they're very helpful in creating business in a scene where you don't have to do a whole bunch of stuff. Often sides can double as, a clipboard, as I'm busy working at my desk, I'm reading a book. You can use your sides for a variety of things. So you're an actor, you have imagination. If you have certain props already on you, you want to use them. Try not to bring in anything that's not on you already. Or here's another big no-no when it comes to props. Don't pull out a cigarette. I don't care if somebody's smoking in the scene. You're going to want to tell your casting director ahead of time, look, I'm going to pull out a cigarette, but don't worry, I'm not going to light it. Don't light a cigarette. I actually had an actress do that to me in the scene, and do you know what? Do you think she got the part? No. Because the whole time I didn't want to interrupt her creatively, but I'm thinking, oh my God, my office is getting full of smoke, I'm going to stink of smoke later, I can't believe she did that. Do you think I paid one bit of attention to her audition? No. So you don't want props to be distracting. Keep it very simple, keep it close to what you already have on you, and use your imagination, commit to your choice, whatever it is, and that's the way to use props. So here's some more absolute audition no-nos. I'll tell you what, I've had so many requests for this that I'm going to do a whole webinar on absolute audition no-nos. I'm going to give you the biggest and baddest, the ones that you fall into the most, and I'm going to go over every single absolute audition no-no, so you never ever have to do them again, and so you are going to be on solid ground when you go in an audition. So go over to amyjoberman.com/audition-no-no. And when you get there, you will see an access link to register for this webinar at amyjoberman.com audition no-no. I'm going to put the link right there. And let's just have some fun getting rid of these no-nos out of your acting career once and for all. Absolute audition no-nos, things you should never do. I'm going to give you a whole bunch more like the tip that I just gave you in way more detail. And this is going to solve a lot of your audition problems. So go ahead and get registered for the webinar at amyjoberman.com/audition no-no, and I will see you on the webinar. Bye.